Welcome guys back to another episode of Hypixel Quakecraft. If you're a Quake player or if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll probably know that I use a texture pack called Quake Plus in like almost all of my videos. But basically what it does is it gives a custom texture for every single railgun in the game. But what it also does is adds 3 brand new secret railguns with totally custom textures that you can enable for yourself by equipping certain parts. So there's 3 of them. We're going to be showing them off in this video. And I mean, you've already been staring at one of them right now. It's of course this beautiful Yoshi themed railgun, and its official name is the Shogun, which is named after the creator of the Quake Plus pack, whose name is Yosho. It's definitely one of my favorites. Easily top 3 out of the 3 secret railguns. I'm also using the green sparkles beam with it, just because I felt like it matched, you know, the green on green, but I actually kind of hate this beam. Not because I think it looks bad, but it just lingers for no reason. Like, you fire a shot and then the green sparkles just stay there for so long, which goes without saying kind of has me messed up, like on a spiritual level. We'll push through it for the content though, anything for you guys. But it also kind of like depends on my mood. Sometimes I just don't feel like doing things for you guys. But right now though, I am in an absolutely indomitable mood. I literally cannot be dominated. Unless you're like a 6-foot goth dommy mom. Oh man, we're in the next game already. How'd that happen? That's crazy. Anyways, I'm definitely a big fan of this. This might be actually my favorite texture out of the 3 that I'll be showing today. But before you just like click off because you're like, oh man, the next 2 are gonna suck, they're still cool. And one of them is designed after me. So you're gonna have to stick around to see it. But yeah, this one's fantastic. He's obviously got his massive eye, his tongue sticking out, acting as like where the blade would be on a normal railgun. Got that big nose on him too. I almost feel like I should have made a custom sound pack for this that would play like a little Yoshi noise every time I take a shot. I could try to do it myself maybe. I don't know if I've got that Yoshi in me though. Like, that's just so bad. Or, oh, imagine like instead of the regular dash sound, I make it his little flutter jump sound, you know, when he goes like Sorry. Hold on, let me try that again. He goes like you know what I mean? Yoshi definitely hits that. Okay, that was a 40-second game, by the way, while I was just talking about nothing, while I was making Yoshi noises. That's crazy. Okay, I played a game between the last one and this one, and I wasn't going to include it. There's just like a 5-player fire game, and it was really slow and boring, but I hit like 3 shots through the floor in a row, and 2 of them were in a spot I'd never done before. It was in an area that I would normally never go on the map, so it's the first time I've ever landed that shot, which is kind of funny. Here's what it looks like in third person, by the way. It looks so funny because it's not an actual 3D object. His eyes are just like completely squished together from one side to another. Looks super derpy. I climbed all the way up here to the very top of town, and if I miss this trick shot, then I will move on to the next railgun. Alright, we're back. I missed my trick shot, which goes without saying has me messed up on a physical level. I spent all game climbing up on top of that tree too. Anyways, next up we've got the Goj gun, just modeled after Gogeta. If you're a Quake player, you know who this guy is. He runs the Quakecraft Discord, and he's kind of known as like the Quake historian because he just knows like everything about the game that there is to know. And his skin in turn is based off of the hollowed armor from Terraria. So yeah, you can see like up at the top to the right of the blade, it's kind of got like the eye slits, and then more central on the rod, there's the chest area with the red crystal thing in the middle of it. I don't really know much about Terraria at all. Palmed, who is also a Quakecraft leaderboard player, once promised me that he was going to buy me Terraria, and that was like over a year ago. So he pretty much scammed me, which goes without saying kind of has me messed up, like on a theoretical level. Palmed, I know you're watching this, buy me Terraria. Quakecraft hasn't had any updates in a while. The last like full-fledged update was probably 2018. Aside from that, all they've really done is a few minor bug fixes, and then they've added some cosmetics which are in the seasonal event shops, which I've made a few videos on at this point. So what's kind of cool about these 3 secret railguns being included in the pack is that if you think about it, it's kind of like getting 3 brand new railguns. Oh my goodness. Yosho's making the Quake updates for us. We don't even need the admins. Now, but for real, I think we can all agree that the only update Quake could possibly use is the power-ups collected stat. Oh, baby, that's what I've been waiting for. There's not even any power-ups on this map, but if there were, you better believe I'd be collecting them. Well, actually, I wouldn't be, because it's not a stat to collect them yet, but in the future, if any admins are watching, #1 most requested update of all time. And you know what's funny is that probably wouldn't even be the most irrelevant stat that's tracked in Quake. We have blocks traveled, which was added in one of the more recent updates in like 2017 or 2018. It doesn't even show up on Plank's website, which I know isn't an official website or anything, but he is like a Hypixel admin, so it's about as close as you could get. But yeah, man, imagine that. Power-ups collected, and then they announced that they are done updating Quake permanently. That is the final update we ever get. And even after all that time, they still have never added like losses or games played, which is so crazy that there's just no such thing as a win-loss in Quake. So with that logic, I've technically never lost a game if you really think about it, because they're not tracked, which for a really long time always kind of annoyed me and I felt like they should add it. But now that I think about it, it's almost maybe a good thing that they don't have it, because if that was added, it would become such like a competitive stat, you know? And all of Hypixel games, not just Quakecraft, are just really becoming harder and harder to win these days. And at least a small part of that is because people become so stressed out over their stats. But I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking it. And last up, we've got my personal favorite, which might be a slightly biased opinion because it's based on me. This one is technically called the Chop Gun because it's half based on me and half based on the guild that I own, which is called Chopped. Hence why it's become a knife, but the color scheme of red and black is taken from my skin. I don't know about the other two, but this one actually went through quite a few different designs before we settled on this one. I went through the messages of the back and forth of me and Yosho, the creator of the pack, but all of the pictures are no longer available except for one single sketch that I made where I was like, oh, what if we put a heart here? Evidently that didn't happen. Maybe some of you will have noticed this. I actually used this railgun in my 1 million kills montage, which you should check out if you haven't already. Which, by the way, lovely video. It was edited by the very talented Gabby, who is also a Quake player and an editor, obviously, and he absolutely killed it. The one thing I regret is the clips that I sent him. Basically, we were both on really tight schedules at the time, so I literally had to record all of the clips for that in the span of like 1 to 2 days. So they were far from the best clips I could have possibly done, and it pains me to go watch that beautiful video and then just look at me whiffing shots or like shooting straight into the ceiling and missing, man. It pains me. Obviously still a fantastic video and not his fault at all, or my fault really. It's just how things ended up working out. Really the only thing that I feel could make this gun better is if it was animated. If you watched my last video where I showcased some of the recently updated textures in this pack, I think I mentioned a couple times that I'm just such a sucker for animations, and I really feel like this one could benefit from it. Like imagine the little veins in the rod are like pulsing or glowing or something, you know what I mean? I feel like that would look so sick. But overall I really think this looks great, and super grateful to Yosho for including me in this pack. That was super nice of him to reach out and offer that. And in the pinned comment, I will leave the parts list that you need to enable in order to equip this gun. I tried to make it a mix of like the cheapest possible parts so that anyone could equip it regardless of whether they have a lot of coins or not. And then just ones that I thought looked good. Like I really love the red muzzle with the rainbow beam. And so definitely download Quake Plus if you haven't already and equip this railgun. It's amazing. It'll make you an expert at the game. In fact, that reminds me of this one time. Back when Technoblade was still streaming actively, he was playing random games one time and he ended up joining a Quake Teams game and I got in it as well. But basically I was the point leader. He started joking around saying, oh no guys, that's actually me at #1 on the top of the leaderboard. And then he said my name, but my biggest regret ever is that I was nicked in that game. So instead of saying, oh yeah guys, I'm actually Rackals, that's my IGN, that's been my IGN all along, he instead said something like, oh yeah, I'm actually lost real bad guys, that's actually me. And oh my god, you know how badly I wish I wasn't nicked in that game? But seriously though, that actually still had the biggest smile on my face when that happened. Rest in peace to Technoblade. Absolute legend, one of the nicest Minecraft YouTubers, and he was pretty good at Quakecraft.
Okay, well as you can see, we're clearly on the top kill leaderboard. That's my disguise, is a low stray, all bad. That's me. That's what I disguised as. You all saw it. Yep, I'm in first.